Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to top up your iron with water. It may need topping up. And iron isn't good without water. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to turn this inside out. So put your hand down to the bottom and pull everything through. Should look something like that. Should be inside out. Everything should have your stitches showing. Now the next thing you're going to do is make sure that this is hot and just start ironing. Now, one of my favorite things to use is the steam feature. This is really good to get out any creases and to get out any bad spots. So the steam feature is really good at that. Okay, so once you think that your section is done, you push it down, and you move it down to another section. See how you can tell that from here it's been ironed and from here it hasn't. Okay, now we flipped it over to check if we made any creases when we did our first run on the other side. And if there isn't, we can keep going, but there is some small imperfections here that I just want to iron out anyways. We finished the torso, now we're doing the sleeves. We want to make sure that we're making a crease in the middle. So check where the fabric seam is and check where and feel for where the middle of the biscuit badge here, and then determine where the middle is. For me, it's about there. Might be a bit different. And we want to make a crease here, flat crease. Okay, so we want to use the spray button to really define out those creases. So we want to spray the crease, and then you would hear it sizzle. That's what we want to hear. So for the same thing on the other side, just spray, 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 spray down the seam, and then put lots of pressure on it. Lots of pressure. And once we flip it over, it should be a really nice valley crease. We're going to do the middle seam, and the way you do that is you have to flip it, you have to fold it in half. It's going to be a bit hard to video, but put your right hand there and your left hand there, and flip. Now once you flipped it, it should look something like this. Alrighty, so we've got it back on there. We're making sure that there's no unwanted creases or unwanted folds anywhere. It's nice and flat. Yeah. Essentially it's the same deal as before. Just spray and then let it sit for a second and then press. Press as hard as you can. Make sure you use the steam function. Go up and down, up and down, up and down until it is visibly creased. Now I've unfolded it and I've flipped it over to the back side, and as we can see here, we have a little bit of train tracks for the last time that I creased this. Now, not to worry, just go over it again and make sure to go only over that spot like this. Try and avoid touching the crease, and then just lightly steam. Now we should have something that looks a little bit like this. This is pretty good. Just make sure, look for some creases. If you've made any new ones, just iron them out. This middle crease here should look like a peak when inside out, because when it turn it back the right way, it'll be a valley. Same with the ones on the side there. Now, I've turned it over again and it's pretty good, but I always like to do just one extra iron, one extra go over, because there's some spots like here where it got creased when I pulled it inside out or outside in, and over here as well. So just do that, look for creases, get rid of them. Now that is looking pretty good. We've got our valley, our arm valley there. We've got our middle valley there. And we've got a side valley. I don't know if you can see that. But that is looking perfect. We just need to figure out our auxiliary stuff. Alrighty, now this is what we've got here. And this is in order of how we're going to attack things. So first we're going to attack the seamanship collar, then the ribbon, then the bow tie, and then the rope. So the first thing we want to do, this one, is we want to do heel, crest, heel. So what I like to do is I like to fold it in a certain way. This is how the real Navy does it. They fold it like so, and they fold it again, so it matches the crease like that. And then they fold it again like that, so that it's folded in the way that the heel valley heel is. So now iron that, and then iron in the creases, and it should be perfect. It should look something like this, and it should be really tight. You should be holding it really tight and keeping it really pressed on the board. We don't want to make any train tracks, any double lines. Nice and heavy, really pushing in that crease. Don't mind my foot. And really making sure it's nice and creased. And also looking nice and flat as well. None of this wrinkly bits. So it should end up looking super beautiful like that. And what we can do is we can unfold the sides and just have the middle, so we can attack that middle piece right there. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to spritz like we did before, and then press down, making sure not to touch the creases on the other sides, making sure to steam, just keep a really heavy, firm pressure on it. And then, let's see this. That is absolutely brilliant. Okay, now let's bring our jacket back onto the ironing board so that we can assemble this on the jacket. Now put the outside pins on. If yours, so different sizes have different set of pins, buttons. My seamanship collar only has 2 buttons, but my jacket has 3 buttons. I'm not sure, I think it's different sizes. Just put, if you have the same issue as mine, just put these 2 on the ends. Now to attack this, we want to put that, we want to match it inside there, like so, and let's feel for the bottom one, should be about there. Do the same for the other side. Now that should look like that, all nice and done, all of our buttons are done up, and that is looking fantastic. Okay, once you've hung up your jacket, we're going to move on to the ribbon. This can be a bit tricky. If, like mine, yours is silk, be a bit more delicate with it. If you have one with this kind of fabric, kind of a matte silk, and you don't have the plastic, I think it is, it's going to get creased a lot easier. These get creased much easier than the plastic polymer ones. Alright, so I couldn't really show you because it's something you have to do with 2 hands, but you want to untwist it. So you want to hold it there, and you want to rotate this around, rotate your reef knot around until it's the same, until it's like that, and it's one full rotation, it has no twists or tangles in it. Okay, so when you iron, you want to place it like so, and you want to keep it really pulled down here, and there, you want to keep it nice and taut. I'll try with my elbow, you want to do it like that, really pulling it, keep it tight, and then iron like that. It's a bit hard to show you. Alrighty, so once we're done, it should look really nice like this. Don't worry about doing up there. If you make it to about here, that's great, because you won't see it anyway. It will be behind your collar. And yeah, that's looking really good. So that's gonna be nice and flat when we wear it. Okay, now let's get our jacket and let's lay it like that. We wanna lay it in a way so that the seamstress collar is hanging out the back, and we can put this over the top. So once we're done with that, we're just going to give this a little bit of an iron. It's a bit crinkled here, but it really doesn't matter that much. Just give it an iron, it'll be okay. I don't know if you know this little trick, I can't really show you because I only have one hand, but if you place it down on there, and then while you've got the iron pressing, pull it like that, you'll find it to be a lot easier getting rid of the crinkles. Okay, so now we want to put our bow tie through, under there, or over, doesn't really matter. And then once we have that the same length, then we can proceed with putting this under. It's a bit hard with one hand, keep saying that, but through there, like that. And then it should look something like that. It should be like a V and an A. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to tie a knot in here. So we want to make sure that both ends are as long as each other, and then do the knot. Okay, so now we've done that, and knot is super duper tight. We can put this back over like so, and then we can proceed with doing the bow tie. Okay, so from here, I like to combine the two. Sort of should look like the Cancer Foundation logo, like that. And then we want to do bunny ears. So we want to do that, then we want to do that, and then we want to combine. Okay, so we want to make sure it's really, really tight. Just pull on this, pull, 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 and it should look something like this. This isn't the final product, but essentially from here we want to pull on here, try to make the bottom look like that, and then flatten the sides out. Alright, so it may look something like this, and this is a pretty good example, although that being said, I'm not too good with the bow tie. Done it wrong a couple times. It's looked kind of crap a couple times. That's okay. If yours doesn't look as good as mine, that's fine. You can figure it out once you put it on, and once you put it on, look in the mirror and figure it out. Okay, so it should look a little bit like this. This is pretty good. Not the best with bow ties, so don't worry if it looks wrong. If it does look wrong and you don't like it, before you leave for Anzac Day or for whatever, make sure you just look in the mirror and you sort of play with it a bit. Pull it in and pull it out and play with the tallies a bit until it looks really spick and span. But I'd call that a pretty good success. Now we've got this bit. Honestly, I just do this when I'm in the mirror before I leave. It's a lot easier to do when you have it on, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I will do it here. So pull it out like that, like what I'm doing here. Pull it out so that this bit is nice and long, and then like we did before, put it under the seamstress collar, and then once we've done that, all the way under. Once we've done that, pull, 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 pull until it's nice and tight. You can't really pull it much more, and then push back in. Now, when you're done, it should look a little bit something like that. Don't worry if it doesn't, because you can play with it. And then all you want to do is pull it under everything, and then put it out, sort of in there, like that. And then pull it all the way, and then rotate like that, and then literally back the same way you got in. Just push it down into your jacket like that. Now that is pretty well done, I'd say. Just if it doesn't look right, just play with it, play around with it, play with the bow tie, play up here, and making sure this is really nice, silky. There's one thing I can't stand is when it's all scrunched up like that. So making sure to really iron that. And yeah, I'd call that a pretty good success.